Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our first guest is an expert in reading body language and is here to help us use it to save money. So we're happy to welcome back behavioral investigator Vanessa Van Edwards. Nice to have you back.
Thank you.
I always feel I love it when you're here, but then I was well, did my body say nice to have you back?
Yes.
Oh no. But body language, I mean, there's a real science to it.
Yes.
There's a real way to interpret it. So let's talk about when you're trying to get deals. One of your first tips is you say if you're going to go buy something, go ahead of time and scope out the environment and the person so you can match their body language, their attitude, I guess.
Yeah, so like for example, if you're going to go buy a car, this is a great one. You know, you can sort of scope out the different people who are selling it. Do they have high energy? Are they kind of low and calm and demure? Getting on the same page with them in terms of body language shows them, I want to make a deal. You know, we have the same mindset, so let's both be happy with the end result. And that's actually a great way to sort of set the stage for a good negotiation.
So you to do this, do you go and just kind of observe them from afar?
Be really creepy and just hide behind the cars. Yeah. No. You know, the good thing is you can sort of say, oh, I'm just browsing. This works in stores as well.
Right.
Or if you're going to shop for a car. Same with buying a house. You know, if you're walking into a house, oh, let me browse for a little bit. Usually people are okay with that. And that's a great way so you can browse the products, but also kind of browse the salespeople.
Oh, so you don't have to do it like a week in advance.
No,
just day of. Just give yourself enough time to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to like stake out the place. No, that's
Gotcha.
okay.
And what is the importance of space and distance?
Okay, so this is called proxemics. That's the fancy word for where our bodies are in relationship to each other. So this is a really easy way to tell someone if you agree with them or not. For example, you always want to start a negotiation with your body leaned in towards someone because it shows you're engaged, you want to make a deal. And the great thing is as soon as they say something that you don't like a price you don't like or a feature, that's when you can actually subtly lean your body back. Because subconsciously they'll go, oh, I said something she doesn't like. And it's a way of negotiating before actually saying anything.
Wow, when you think about that, you think about when you're dealing with your boss or, you know, whomever, maybe as an attorney, you get that a lot.
Oh, yeah. And you can see them do it, too. So this is for us negotiating with someone else, but you can also see it if you're telling someone. If you're a salesperson, you know, or a lawyer, and you're working with a client, and they suddenly sit back, you should know, uh-oh. Something I said is not right, and that's when you can say, hey, something I said make you uncomfortable? Let's pause for a second. They'll be very impressed by the way you can read them.
And if you're a salesperson, you wouldn't want to say, this is a great deal.
No, yeah.
That would tell them right away. So we do this subconsciously, don't we?
We do it anyway, yes.
So what you're saying is we can use it to our advantage since people pick up on it.
Because it's awkward for a lot of people to say, can you give me a lower price? Like, that makes me really nervous. So a way to say that without saying it is to move your body back, because they'll actually start to negotiate with themselves. It's so funny. If you do it with a car salesman, for example, and they say, you know, the price is $12,000, and you sit back, they'll say, but I can throw in a free. They'll start to negotiate with themselves because they can tell that you don't like the price. So,
interesting. Oh, very good. All right. And then let your hands guide you. You use your hands a lot.
Yes, I do these all the time.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit sneaky, but it's sort of fun to see it in action. So there's these things that happen that when you move your hand like this in a circular motion up and down, you start to shake your head yes, just like you did. I don't know why it happens, but always people start to nod their head yes.
It's like a dog.
It's like
got to be treated hand.
Right. It always works. So sometimes you can do it. I do it when I'm speaking in front of audiences sometimes, is you can do this and people will automatically start to shake their head yes, and when they do, they go, I agree. I agree. I'm
going to try it on Samantha.
It works really well, by the way, with little kids. Sometimes when I'm with my little niece, I'll say, do you want to go to the movie theater or do you want to go to the park? A lot of the times I'll say, I want to go to the park. I don't know why it works very well with kids.
Wow. Now, does it work on wives?
Oh, no, not so
do you want to go visit your mom?
I'm a new wife,
or do you
so it
want
doesn't
to watch
work very well on wife.
That's a great thing to do with kids. Like, hey, do you want to clean your room now?
That's a hard sell, but
really?
You can try.
You can try.
Yeah.
All right. I learned years ago, just as a stand-up, if you have a crowd that's not quite settled or loud, if you just raise a hand up just casually, it seemed to me, I'm not doing this, it seemed to me that when you do that, people, the nonverbal cue is ingrained in us from grade school when teachers raise their hand.
That's absolutely true. And you can also, if you're talking about space, you can also say over here, and you'll watch people actually like move with you.
Okay, good. So any other little hand cues?
No, Hank, this one is yes. And remember, you can also say no or yes. That works really well.
It's amazing. All right, know when to walk away.
Abandon. Okay, so in the traditional negotiation techniques, they often say, walk away. There's a reason for this. It's because it causes panic in the other person that they feel like they're going to be abandoned. So don't be afraid to use that. A lot of the times, as you're walking away, they'll call out, oh, okay, I'll do your deal with you.
And do you mean physically walk away?
I mean physically walk away, or just say, I got to think about it for a few days. Even if it's a house contract or a car contract or a pair of shoes, I got to think about it for a few days. So walking away will cause panic in them, and they usually will go down to your price or help.
So as you walk away, do you walk away and look back, or you just keep going? And if they don't call you back, you just keep going.
Right, and worst comes to worst, you could always come back a few days later.
Yeah, of course.
That's it.
And then this, I think, is probably the most valuable tip, don't you?
Yeah.
And that is never hold the object that you want in your hand while you're negotiating.
Correct. So many women, I see this happening when they're negotiating at garage sales, yard sales, is they'll hold, the cup. So how much are these pair of shoes? Really? Is that the best price you can do? Well, you're much less effective at negotiating when you're holding the item you want. You're better off putting it in the table in between you, and that way you make clearer decisions about the cup.
So you say, if you put it down, go, what about that? How much for that cup?
Right. Can you do any better? Can you give me a
Now,
better
does
price?
that send the cue to the seller, or is that helping protect the buyer from emotion?
Good question. Both. So it protects you from sort of being, not being biased, and it makes them see that it's not already yours.
Interesting. Always good tips. My goodness, you have got to be the most formidable person out there on the streets. Yeah, with these skills, unbelievable, and always good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. And you had a good time. You enjoyed yourself.
Yes, I had a good time.
Yes, you did. All right. Very